Before I had my baby, I honestly was not sure I was interested in being a mom. I was afraid of the thought of pregnancy, motherhood, and obviously from the many things we keep hearing, right? And even after I became a mom, it wasn't all rosy. For the first few months, I hated it. I honestly was full of regret. And one day I started and asked myself, is this really how you want to continue your life? Like, if this thing is God ordained, then it most definitely should not cause fear. It most definitely should not cause, regret, anger, frustration, and all of that. And so I began this journey of, let's say, recovery or, looking for knowledge. And I realized that a lot of us are living in that fear, right? Afraid of pregnancy, afraid of motherhood. People nowadays don't want to even get pregnant anymore because they're afraid, and even moms have gone through it are still living in fear because of how traumatic, of how stressful, whatever experience that they had. So if you're watching this video and you are in those shoes, then congratulations, this video is for you. All right, let's get into it.
My name is Oluwaseun Usidame. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
While I was doing my research for this video, do you guys know that there's actually a fear of like wanting to be pregnant? Let them just say it. Do you know there's something called tokophobia? Like, you can go and research it. It's an extreme fear of pregnancy and childbirth that can significantly impact a person's life. There's a lot of story, but I picked this person that this is fear that can lead to avoidance of pregnancy altogether. I know a lot of women that don't want to be pregnant because of fear. See, if your reason for not being ready to have kids is maybe, oh, you and your husband are planning on relocating soon, so of course you want to relocate and then go and have your children. Maybe you guys realize that, oh, we don't have enough money, and by enough money you really must not have enough money, because let's not go into that, but reasonably you don't have enough money to cater for a child. You guys are working on upscaling, your lives. Do you understand? Or let's not go into that. I'm just trying to give good reasons, right? Or legitimate reasons, but out of, and things like, I'm not ready. I'm coming to learn that you will never be ready. I assure you, if you don't sit down and plan and decide that, okay, at this moment of our lives, we're going to have a child. If you keep waiting for when I'm ready, you you will never feel ready. Having children. I honestly don't think anyone ever says I'm fully ready. Everyone just kind of summons the courage to just, you know what, let me go ahead and do this thing. Or maybe a form of level of mental preparation. But I don't think there's one feeling of now is the time. Magical fear. I honestly don't think. And just thinking of it from a logical point of view, why should you allow fear in your heart? I don't know about anybody, but I keep saying that how I got in code delivered or free from one of these thoughts was one day I told myself, it's okay. This is how I want to continue living your life. You are sad, you are depressed. Yeah. Did you kill anybody? Is this it? Is this the end goal? And I knew that God will not want to give. If everywhere in the Bible, children are called blessings. Children are called an arrow in the hands of those that have them. The Bible has good things to say about children. So why would I then have a child and not feel in quote good and not feel blessed? There's something is fundamentally wrong, right? And if you're here and legitimate, this is not to talk down your fear. Like I said, I lived in it, so I can understand what it is. Maybe your body is changing. You're afraid of how you and your partner will change. You're afraid of how your routine will then impacted. How your routine will be impacted, the effect you probably have on your career. Some of these things we don't know how will happen, but I think that's how life is. Anybody that relocates is never really sure of what is awaiting for them at the end. Anyone that takes on a new job is never really sure of the kind of boss that they will meet. Is never really sure of kind of colleagues that they will meet. We all just go there in anticipation that this will be a good thing and this will bring me joy. And the beautiful thing about having kids is that you already even know the end. The Bible has said it's a blessed thing. So it should indeed, bring you joy. The first thing I'm going to say is, if you're trying to conquer this fear of pregnancy, regardless of maybe, oh, you've never had kids or you're constantly thinking of your second child or whatever, right? First I'll tell you is prepare your mind. Yep. I have a video I'm planning on doing with a good friend of mine. I don't know if which one I'm going to upload first, right? But basically just talking about how preparing our mind with the help of this channel and our page, right, really helped her in her motherhood journey. And I like how she said, she gave a review, maybe I'll put it out, how, that fear, and that's what actually inspired this video. I'm like, yeah, someone gets it, because that fear is one of the things I've been wanting to address. She prepared herself. And preparing yourself is just preparing your mind. The truth is, because you've never experienced it before, you've never had a child before, you've never had two children before, you don't have a full idea of what will happen. But everybody knows that there's a first trimester. Everybody knows there's a second trimester. Everybody knows there's a third trimester. Do you understand? So you don't have to go and say, what, you can read up on it. What are the common things that happen? And then even decide for yourself, oh God, in this first trimester, I don't want to vomit too. I don't care that people to vomit. That's not the one I want. Do you understand? And then of course, towards the end of your pregnancy, reading up on children, what to expect in the first year, the kind of things that you need. All these things are just preparing you for this new reality. And I'm even learning that, because I know one day I'm going to have another child, right? I prepare myself, okay, what happens with the second child? How different, is it? What are the things I should expect? That is me preparing my mind, because I know one day, I will give birth to another child. So I know that, and I know that I've never experienced two children before. There are still some things that will catch me on our way. And another thing is, every child is different. Every child has their own individual personality. So I can't assume that because I've done one child before, my second child will be exactly, the same. I know there's things that will catch me on our way, but I also have an idea of what pregnancy feels like. I know that at this stage of pregnancy, your third trimester, I know that I'll begin to feel heavy. So like these are things you begin to, plan. You won't know everything, but prepare your mind. Have that preparation. Work towards, at least getting ready for this phase of your life. And even in this preparation, I'd like to emphasize a bit on mindset. You see, what you think is more important than how you feel. I'll say it again. What you think about something is more important, has more effect on you than how you feel about a particular thing. What do you think about pregnancy? Ask yourself, how do you see pregnancy? Do you see it as a demeaning way? Do you see it as a waste of a woman's body? Do you what, let's be honest with yourself. Don't be afraid to be like, really tell yourself, how do I think about this thing? And then choose to renew your mind on the things that are wrong. Carrying a child is one of the greatest honors you will ever have as a woman. Don't let anything ever make you feel it's a big privilege to be able to carry your child. It is a great honor. It is a thing of joy. It's a thing of pride. Leave the money sickness, leave all of that. I'm not trying to say that it doesn't matter. I have a lot of videos addressing different issues. So I'm not saying that to downplay the role or the effect it can have on your body. But I'm letting you know that if it's so bad of a thing, why is everybody still giving birth? And I'll say it again. The Bible did not say it's a bad thing. So that means it's not a bad thing. Renew your mind. Stop saying, remember before I had a child, when you see children throw tantrums or parents being stressed over a child, I look at it and say, hey God, not me. Like, these are the things that used to make me feel unprepared. But now I see it and I laugh. Like, when I see my children that they are fighting, because those are the things that give me joy. Watching your child just be a child, and like, what exactly is going on in this child's life? And it's because I chose to renew my mind. I assure you, even when I became a mom, I've told you guys, it didn't change. And that's because I carried a bad mindset into it. I just thank God that God has helped me and I've healed and I'm in a much better space, mentally and emotionally. That doesn't mean I don't have bad days. In fact, there's a video I want to do. I'm hoping I can get the perfect guest for it, right? Where we're going to have hard conversations about motherhood, honest conversations, right? It doesn't mean there are no bad days. It doesn't mean every day I wake up, oh, and I feel like it's just in everything in life. You're married sometimes, you look at your husband and look at him and say, and I married you. Or that job that you prayed for heaven and earth, one day you wake up in the middle of the night and say, God, is this how I want to live my life? Do you understand? So I'm saying, and that's because that's how life is, right? But that doesn't entirely mean that thing is bad. Just because you and your husband had a fight today, doesn't mean that your husband is a bad person. Doesn't mean that you married wrongly. No. Right? Just because there's a hard day, there's a rough day, there's a tough day, doesn't entirely make motherhood bad. So again, my whole point is prepare your mind, renew your mind on the wrong thought that you have. Another important thing I'll talk about as it regards this fear is a support system. Right. And support systems varies from daycare to nannies to house helps to your partners to your mother-in-laws to your friends to your sisters. What support system do you have around you? Okay, you're going to have a child. What is your plan? I remember this video I did on when is the right time to have kids. And I had my friend, we talked about, she had that. I had my baby, my first day of marriage. She waited for a year and we're, comparing, The truth is, if like wait 2 years, wait 3 years, it's still the same thing you're going to meet. Like, it doesn't change that your child is still going to wake up every 2 hours. They're still going to have sleepless nights. It won't change the reality of it. And I'm a big fan of waiting. I think, nothing deep. I just think it's a good time for couples to wait a year, just or wait few months, whatever works for you guys. Just my personal opinion. It's not a template. At the end of the day, if you are ready to have kids in your first year, please go ahead. There's also nothing wrong with that, right? But I'll say support system. Are you going to get a nanny with the person living? Or see, forget, you need support if you are doing motherhood. In whatever way you need it, you need support. If you want, so that you as a person, and I have a mantra, I tell them in my house, if all of you want to be okay in this house, I have to be okay first. I told them I take decisions first based on what will give me peace of mind in this house. And not necessarily what, of course, not, I will not also do something that will not cause problem for every other person in my house. But I also understand that if my house wants to thrive in a healthy manner, I, the mother, I, the wife of the home, also needs to be in a good state of mind. And one of the ways is by having, if I didn't have a support system, I won't be right now in this video recording this video. I mean, right now in the studio, be recording this video for you people. I can do this because I have a support system. What is your support system? What will your support system be? So some people that thankfully that have, mother and mother-in-law shuffle. There's some people that have maybe mother-in-law, mother-in-law come for 1 year, 6 months. Some people after 3 months, you take a daycare service. Maybe once in a while someone comes and help you clean. Find your system. Find your system because you are going to need it. This next point might shock you, but I'm going to say it's okay not to have butterflies at the thought of motherhood. For a long time, I struggled with, I love my child, but it's not every day that I'm excited. I remember the first time my daughter stayed away from me. Like, first time I spent a few days away from her, I won't lie, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself. And the few days in which she was supposed to return, I realized that I wasn't very excited. And I was feeling bad. The mothers that have not seen their child in a long time and they are so happy. And I was struggling with such emotions. And along the night, I realized that those two can exist. I love my child. Of course, I'm happy to see her. I want to know that she's doing well. But I also really enjoyed the days where she was not there. I enjoyed it. Those two can exist. Those two can exist. Yes, and it doesn't make you a bad person, in my opinion. Again, I would like to do a more detailed video on this. So, because I feel that a lot of women struggle with this, right? I've heard of women that say they love their child, but they don't love motherhood. There's a video that was trending about the moms that they were saying that the lady was interviewing her mom and an aunt, and her mom is like 80, her aunt is like 78 or something. Sha. I was asking them that what was your most favorite part about motherhood? They were like, it was when their children left the house for college. They're like, what is it that you love the most when we're kids? They said they didn't love anything. That the time they loved the most was when maybe when all the kids were in bed. But they kept saying that we love our children. We will go to any length for our child. But it wasn't really everything about motherhood that excited us. And maybe they had bad experiences. I'm not saying that should be the norm. And I'm not encouraging that as, like I said, I was in a very negative, bad state. Right now, I love children. See a baby. Ha! Guys, seeing babies right now bring me joy. I was never really like that. Do you understand? Again, you see everything. I don't like the sleepless nights. Although now I've learned to use it as an opportunity to pray in the night. So I'm thankful for that. But I really would like every night I encourage myself that one day you sleep well again, one day you sleep well again. But does that mean I hate my child? That days even in the night I just look at her like yesterday night I was telling her that it's okay. Like I understand that it's not as if you two don't want to sleep. You just don't know how to regulate yourself to this point. And just praying for God to help me to be patient with her. Because it's not also her fault. I can't blame the child. Do you understand? So I don't enjoy the sleepless time, but that doesn't mean when I wake up in the morning and look at my child beside me, I don't feel joy. I don't smile and I don't genuinely from my heart say, God, thank you for this child. The two can actually exist. You don't have to like first trimester. You don't have to like being pregnant. Nobody enjoys labor. Nobody looks forward to that. Everybody just looks forward to that. Okay, day of labor. Finally, this child will come. I'll have a rest in my physical body, right? But nobody likes labor. But that doesn't mean no woman will go through the laborious process. Did I get that? Anyways, you guys get my point. Okay, the next thing I'm going to say is yes, don't let fear define you. Again, I keep saying from my own experience, because I could have sat down and say, that's how I am, that's how motherhood is. But no, I wanted to be happy, I wanted to thrive, I wanted to really be happy. Do you understand? Don't think it is okay to stay in that state. Don't see, it's what you embrace that you see in your life. Oh. It's not magic. It's what you consider as normal that you see as normal in your life. If you think it is normal to wake up every day depressed, that's what you will see. Oh. If you think it is normal to wake up every day unhappy, to wake up every day, I hate motherhood, I hate that one, that's what you will see. So don't let it define you. That doesn't have to be your reality. That doesn't have to be your norm. You have the power in your hands to renew your mind. To you, yes, you can wake up. See, I can wake up one day and say, I'm no longer going to talk about motherhood on this channel. I want to talk about food. And nobody will beat me. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to change your thought process about something. It's okay. Maybe 2 years ago you had a message about something. Now it has changed. It's okay. Change it. But change it in a good way. Oh. Don't become a witch. Oh. Change it in a good way. I mean, you have a standard, right? Change it in a good and positive way. Don't let fear define you. Don't let that negative thought, negative feeling, bad, any publicity about motherhood define you. The last thing I'm going to say is, if maybe even after all of this you still are still struggling, it's okay to get professional help. It's okay. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you. As I like how someone defined therapist. If you break your bones today, won't you go and see a doctor? You have a spirit, soul, and body. For your spirit, you go to God. For your soul, you go to therapist, your mind. For your physical happy, for your you guys get my point, right? Like, there's a doctor for the mind. The mind is a powerful thing. A lot of battles are fought and won in our mind. In order to be anything in life, the first battle you fight is here. That's why I keep talking about. That's why in the beginning I first talk about preparing yourself mentally. We keep talking about changing wrong mental notions about it. A lot of battles happen in our mind. And if you see that you don't have the strength to fight on your own, go and see a therapist. There's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you abnormal. Nothing wrong. Go and see a therapist. Do you understand? Go and get professional help. Speak to somebody. Speak to people around you also. Speak to me. I will hear you out. I will. Speak to me. Reach out to me. My Instagram, the link to my Instagram page is on, literally on, if you click about me on my YouTube channel, you'll see a link to my Instagram page. Send me a message. I'll hear you out. I'll listen to you. And I think one thing about this channel is that we don't hide the realities of it. We just ensure that we are thriving beyond it. And we don't allow, some of those negative things define us, or, now, I mean, you guys get my point, right? So I'm not denying the reality. I'm not denying that it's hard. I'm not denying that maybe you even grew up in it. Your father wasn't a good experience, your mother, whatever it is, right? Get professional help. And yeah, we've come to the end of this video. I'm sure you've learned something. I'm sure this channel, you never waste time watching this channel. There's always one value or the other. So if you watched it, you have a friend that you know that this can help, or there's always something to learn. You guys tell us in the comment section. Tell us in the comment section. Subscribe, like, share, drop a comment. Those things help us as a community. How else people know about us if the engagement is not shown? YouTube, if you guys are not watching or engaged, YouTube will say, this video, people don't really like it, so let's not show more people. That's the meaning now. And if YouTube is not showing more people, how do we grow as a community? How will more people join us and hear these beautiful things that we're telling each other? So guys, subscribe, like, share, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.